Hello and welcome to the Yellow Submarine. Liverpool Beatles Museum, previously known as Magical Beatles Museum, is an exhibition hall dedicated to the Beatles situated at 23 Mathew Street, Liverpool. The exhibition hall was made by Roag Best, child of Neil Aspinall and Mona Best, a relative of Pete Best. It was launched on July 13, 2018. The gallery shows 300 unique things, with an expansion of 1,200 that is being kept away. It is situated in a 5-story building, with 3 floors committed to an alternate period in the Beatles' history. The primary floor covers 1959 to 1962, while the second and third cover 1963 to 1966 and 1967 to 1970, individually. Objects uncovered incorporate John Lennon's Sgt. Pepper medals, the cello from I Am the Walrus, George Harrison's Futurama guitar, and Pete Best's Premier drum. Other items displayed are Lennon's custom-made egg chair, Paul McCartney's bass speaker, the All You Need Is Love doll from the BBC Our World broadcast, gifts that Elvis Presley gave to the Beatles, and police logbooks listing the names of the officers who guarded the Beatles during their visit to New York City. This video is a way by which you can learn more about this beautiful gallery about the Beatles in England. Before we dive into today's topic of discussion, I would appreciate it if you just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to get updated on other amazing videos that are coming up. So shall we? For the people who need a speedy history of how the museum came to effect and the present tour chief and owner of the collection in the iconic museum, Roag Best, the Beatles' first tour chief, Neil Aspinall, at 19 years old, began a relationship with Pete Best's mother, Mona Best, while the Beatles were playing their first shows in the cellar of her home, in a club which she called the Casbah Coffee Club. It didn't serve liquor, consequently the Espresso Club depiction. The relationship between Mona Best and Neil Aspinall prompted the birth in 1962 of a child, Vincent Roag Best. The connection between Neil and Mona, which was so regularly mistaken as just a casual hookup, really kept going for 8 years. Roag grew up with his father, Neil. Neil was the Beatles' driver right away, and then, at that point, he became the tour chief for the Beatles, and later, he became the CEO of Apple Corps. And in the end, he was the administrator of the matter of the Beatles until he surrendered in 2007 of medical problems. Neil kicked the bucket in 2008. Roag Best has now, to me, entered the universe of world popular posterity and has arisen by what the Beatles have done and the different melodic domains from the Beatles universe. Although Roag isn't a child or little girl of one of the Fabs, he is the child of not just their longest running partner, Neil Aspinall, who proceeded to deal with the band and was one of the prominent individuals on the planet who had the certainty of John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and their spouses and relatives. However, he is the stepbrother of the Beatles' unique drummer. This is comparably close as it gets. What's more a result of the unique position he ended up in, he was the recipient of much Beatles-related memorabilia, given to him by his father, and things from the band's very beginnings at the Casbah Club, which is viewed as generally critical and important to the history of the Beatles. Beatlemania provoked a massive interest for a tremendous assortment of products identified with the Fab Four. The varieties at the museum incorporate numerous models gathered by fans, just as some more remarkable and critical pieces, for example, the stage on which John and Paul initially met. Melodic ephemera from the collections range from uncommon Beatles records to Beatles guitar string packages. Beatles fans most likely trusted that utilizing strings embraced by their legends may assist with moving their inventiveness. The Beatles' clothing was also a significant piece of their style and was so evident in their pictures, and so many fans attempted to duplicate their style, while others announced their affection for their legends by wearing Beatles-related products similar to the shoes and stockings included here. The innovative gifts of the Beatles were not restricted to their melodic capacities. John Lennon and his unique bandmate, Stuart Sutcliffe, went to the Liverpool Art School and have gotten wide praise as specialists in art. The collections at their classy museum incorporate unique pieces by Stuart and propagations of John's drawings. The tale of the Beatles didn't end when the band split up in 1970. Just as mirroring their performance projects, the museum collections additionally show how the city of Liverpool praises their heritages. Settled on the famous Mathew Street, simply at the front of the notable Cavern Club, where the Beatles played their first gig, The Liverpool Beatles Museum is absolutely devoted to the Fab Four, established by family members of one of the band's unique individuals, Pete Best. With more than 500 bona fide relics from the young men themselves, there could be no more excellent spot to release your initial Beatlemaniac and dive profoundly into the universe of John, Paul, George, and Ringo. This world select assortment of Beatles memorabilia took shape for more than 10 years, and the exhibition hall's devotion has genuinely paid off, presently lodging the biggest bank of true Beatles things in the entire world. Previously called the Magical Beatles Museum, this 5-story tremendous is a money box for Beatlemaniacs with items including John Lennon's Sgt. Pepper awards, Paul McCartney's low-register guitar speaker, George Harrison's ukulele, Ringo's catch drum, and Pete Best's drum pack, the Apple meeting room table, the cello from the Magical Mystery Tour, the plan from their very first USA visit, in addition to vast loads of unique dress and gem pieces worn by the band. Likewise, fans can see retro banners and promotion things from their art, music, and visits, elite meetings with the band just as a never-before-seen film, and letters from the virtuoso hands themselves. All through the Liverpool Beatles Museum's epic 4 stories, you can follow the account of the greatest band ever and find how they rose to such woozy statues of notoriety from their tranquil Liverpudlian beginnings. Plunge into Fab Four's set of experiences, from the very roads that they experienced childhood in, and which form so many of their famous melodies, with their very first gig scene sitting directly across the street. Likewise, the LBM is one of the most mind-blowing Liverpool exhibition halls for youngsters, with an establishing group devoted to melodic and media instruction. Alongside visits and studios customized to various age gatherings, the Liverpool Beatles Museum likewise has a considerable load of magnificent exercises for kids over time. For example, secret chases of the display, GCSE undertakings on brand marketing and exploratory writing, and studies into ladies' possible spot inside the Beatles and their sexual orientation jobs during the 1960s. This inundating Beatles experience will charm guests youthful and old, and has even been supported by Pete Best himself, a unique drummer for the band, who considered it a historic event that is not to be missed by any genuine Beatles fan. The museum, located in Mathew Street, is laden with so much about the Beatles. The museum covers 3 entire floors in a 4-story building, and it incorporates more than 300 unwanted and original items from the Beatles. And these items tell the story of the Beatles and their journey from the beginning of their time as a group at the Casbah Club till the end of their time together. The 3 floors are all dedicated to a different period in the Beatles' history. The first floor is dedicated to the beginning of the Beatles band from 1955 to 1962. The whole floor is beautified in simple colors of black and white, making it more explicit. This floor incorporates pictures of the band during this time frame. The first floor includes artifacts like Pete Best's first drum set, the first outfits worn by the Beatles band that the public had never seen, and the first ever posters for the Quarrymen. It also exhibits pictures of the band on their tour to Hamburg and how Pete and McCartney had issues with the German authorities. This floor finally ends with how Brian Epstein entered into the lives of the Beatles and the first video the band ever recorded. The floor also shows Paul's bass speaker and George Harrison's guitar. Going up the staircase, we move into the museum's second floor. This second floor exhibits collections of the lives of the Beatles from the year 1963 to 1966. The collaboration of the second floor is quite different from the black and white color of the first floor. The second floor is beautified with different colors. It sees the Beatles truly becoming the Beatles we know about during the beginning of their fame, Beatlemania beginnings, and the Beatles recordings at Abbey Road Studios. The second floor includes collections of huge tours by the Beatles, items brought back by the iconic superstar group from their various tours in the United States of America, Austria, Spain, Japan, and many other countries they had visited from 1963 till 1966. The second floor also exhibits collections like gifts from Elvis to the Beatles during their meeting in 1965, Ringo's drum stool, The Ed Sullivan Show, the Beatles movies such as Help and A Hard Day's Night. It includes pictures of the Beatles performing in a sold-out stadium and how they were the first band to do it. This concludes the most iconic collections on the second floor. The third floor in Liverpool's Beatles Museum explores the Beatles' psychedelic era and the Beatles' life between the years 1967 to 1970. At the beginning of the third floor, a huge eye-catching white piano is on display. The walls of the third floor are painted stark white, which serves as a background for the array of colors displayed by the shining collection shown on the walls. Paying homage to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Arts from the album cover are spectacularly displayed along the narrow hallway. In the future, collections about their tour and the period the Beatles spent in India are displayed. John Lennon's custom-made egg chair, the cello from Blue Jay Way, the All You Need Is Love doll from the BBC World broadcast, the starting era of the Apple Corps are also displayed. This beautiful third floor ends with a 1970 poster given to all the staff members of Apple Corps for Christmas. It was declared by Roag that the items in the museum would be rotated every year, so other items which are kept away would also be displayed to the public. To attend the museum, the ticket prices range from £16 for adults to £9 for children in the age range of 5 to 16 years. £12.50 per ticket for senior citizens above 60 years of age, £12.50 for students, and the price for a family ticket with an extra child is £9. This ends the enlightenment on the Liverpool Beatles Museum. We hope that you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications about our future videos. Till next time, bye!